What's up guys, Steady Striker here, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about Moreno versus Alexandre Pantoja 3. They've actually fought twice before. The first one, I guess the UFC doesn't really count it because it was on the Ultimate Fighter, and even though those are real fights, they kind of counted as exhibition fights, but then they rematch in the UFC. And Pantoja beat Moreno. This time he didn't finish him, but he, in my opinion, beat him more brutally because the first time, Moreno was kind of winning the fight, and then Pantoja got the fight to the ground. He got Moreno's back and choked him out. But in the second fight, Pantoja, he seemed a lot more confident. He had a lot more power. His striking looked better, and he was hurting Moreno on several occasions. He busted his nose and everything. He was rocking him. But Moreno showed his toughness and stayed in the fight. But yeah, it was just a dominant performance for Pantoja. Now they're rematching, and they're much better now, both of them. I would say Brandon Moreno has improved more because we've seen him go from just contender to kind of losing a few fights here and there, but then he started to get his things together, and he was able to be the one that beat Figueiredo, and he did a great job in that. And I think the biggest change in Brandon Moreno has been his confidence, because if you look at the second fight with Pantoja, it kind of seemed like he was a much younger guy, much smaller as well, but now he seems slightly bigger, but a lot more confident. If you look at him, and his striking looks better, his grappling looks better, and ultimately I'm going to go with Brandon Moreno winning this fight. I think it's going to be a very, very close fight. I don't expect to see a finish in this one, but I'm going to go with Brandon Moreno by getting a decision win. I think it's going to be a great fight. It's kind of going under the radar because this is such a stacked card that, we got guys like Robert Whittaker and Dricus du Plessis. That fight is being talked about more than this. And obviously the main event, as it should be, it's it kind of overshadows it. But this is a great, great fight. I'm really looking forward to it. But this is a tough fight because, Moreno has lost, and like I said, his confidence has increased a lot. But how's that going to look when you're going up against a guy who's already beaten you twice? And that's a very, very real thing. And it's Pantoja is going to think, I beat this guy. I know I can beat this guy. But Moreno's going to think, is he just that guy who's just better than me? What's going on through Brandon Moreno's head? We've seen this situation with, Israel Adesanya and Max Holloway, too. You could tell that they were both confident. Adesanya was confident. He was saying, I know I'm better than this guy. Max Holloway was saying, I won the second fight. The whole world knows I won that second fight. So I'm just going to go out there and, beat him, basically. So even though they both had lost, they still came into a third fight very confident. But they had mixed outcomes because the thing about confidence is it can cloud your judgment, and you can think of it all that's not gonna happen again. I'm just gonna work hard, and it's gonna change. But you gotta change some things in your preparation. You gotta look at the tape, see where you went wrong, see your weaknesses, see your strengths, and then just make a game plan to ensure your victory and get your confidence that way. Don't just base it off the last fight. Brandon Moreno has to kind of forget about that. But I feel as Pantoja has won, he's probably not going to forget about it. He's going to be he's going to get that confidence knowing that he's already done it twice. But he's going to need to make some adjustments as well. Because, he's been fighting pretty recklessly, at least on the striking in his last fight versus Alex Perez. And then the fight before that with Brandon Royval. He was just kind of pressing and being aggressive on the feet. His grappling looked really, really good, which is another thing that's worrying for Moreno. But I think being able to out-grapple someone like Davison Figueiredo, that's going to be very, very good for Brandon Moreno's mentality. Pantoja is dangerous. He's got power too. That's the thing. Like, he's dangerous on the feet and on the ground. He's just as dangerous in wherever the fight goes. But one thing that also worries me about Moreno is, he's been in four like hard fights with Davison Figueiredo. The first one was a crazy war. The second fight, it wasn't. Moreno kind of just steamrolled and flatlined Figueiredo and just submitted him in the third round. Then after that, like, the third fight was a war again, and Moreno was getting dropped, and he was on the wrong side of that. Then in the last fight, it wasn't so much a war, because Moreno kind of picked him out, but he's had two wars with Davison Figueiredo, and Figueiredo hits really hard. That's the thing about it. It's like Moreno's a durable guy, but he had been getting rocked and dropped even before that. Like, Pantoja rocked him a bunch. Same thing with Cat France. Cat France was dropping him in the first fight, and he had a kind of a war with Moreno. And then in the rematch, Cat France was landing some big shots. So at what point is Moreno's durability gonna go down? And this is a tough matchup, and I will not be surprised if this is a fight where it goes, because Pantoja, he's hungry. He hasn't gotten that taste of the belt. He hasn't gotten that money yet. He hasn't gone back to Brazil and get celebrated all over. He hasn't become a star just yet. So he's gonna be coming into this fight with a lot of confidence, a lot of self-belief, a lot of wants. And now Moreno, he's gonna have to experience what it's like to, someone's trying to take this away from me and I gotta take them out. He was doing that to Figueiredo, and he took him out. But now it's gonna be the roles are reversed. But yeah, like I said, I think I'm going Brandon Moreno getting this done by decision. I think it's probably gonna be 48-47. It's probably going to be a war, but yeah, this is going to be a tough fight. I will not be surprised when Pantoja wins, but tune in tomorrow to see me predict Whittaker versus Duplessis.